What's up, Fire Nation? If you're here, it's because you don't play small. Fire Nation is for the ones fueled by passion, driven by growth, and hungry to build real wealth. Not just for yourself, but for your family and future generations. This isn't just a channel. This is a movement. And if you're watching, you are already part of it. I'm Miss Blue Fire, always taking you higher. Let's light it up. What's up, Fire Nation? If you don't play small and you're here to build, you're in the right place. I'm Miss Blue Fire, always taking you higher. Let's light it up. Oh, hello, Fire Nation. Well, we are here on a Saturday. We're going to have a quick live, a very interesting live. It will be a good live. It will be a worthy live, right? Let me big up people in the chat who is here. Time come. You reach early today. Big up yourself, bro. Good to see you. And thanks for being here, listening in. All right, no problem. All you people in the bushes, you men that love the bush, can you please like the live as you enter? It's going to be a very short but sweet live, right? But we're going to talk. You guys can call in. I made space for people to be able to call in. It's going to be a very, 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 very good live. I shouldn't have showed that so early, right? Good. So we're going to start, right? So listen, also, I'm going to have another live showing you guys how to buy the album. And I'm going to show you my strategy that I did, right? When it came to Cartel's album or whichever album I always, if I'm going to support an album, but this is what I did. And also this is what I'm going to do for Capleton's album too when it comes, right? So I'm going to give you a strategy that is tested and true, and I'm going to explain to you why it works. But I might do that on another. I might tell you a little bit about it today and then still do another live because it deserves another live, right? But, right. So tonight, we're diving into one of the most misunderstood conversations in the music industry. Every day, I see fans arguing online. Buy the album, no. Stream the single, no. Buy the single, no. Run up the streams. Right? But very few people stop to ask the most important question. Camps. What actually helps the artist the most? Right? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Many fans think that they are supporting an artist when in reality, they may be supporting the wrong metric. Some people celebrate streams. Some people celebrate sales. Some people celebrate chart positions. Some people celebrate views. But those are not necessarily the same thing. And I know other people have been jumbling them up. So tonight we're going to separate fact from fiction, right? We're going to discuss one, the difference between a pure album sale and a single sale. What TEA and SEA actually mean. Why 10 song purchases are not the same as buying an album. Why 1 million streams may not be worth the same as 1 million streams somewhere else. Streams, they're not weighed the same, right? Why labels care where your streams actually come from. This is important, right? Why some artists have massive streaming numbers, but they struggle to sell concert tickets. Curious. Why some artists sell fewer records, but have stronger careers. And perhaps the most important thing we're going to talk about tonight is what should a fan do if they truly want to help their favorite artist win, right? Right? We're going to talk about it because 1 million streams can impress you. Fine. #1 chart can impress you. Fine. A viral song can impress you. Fine. But if you don't understand what those numbers actually represent, you may be celebrating smoke instead of fire. And we don't want to do that. We want to always celebrate the fire, right? So listen, I'm going to disclaim this thing. Tonight, we're not here for fan wars, right? We're not here for artist wars either, and we're not here for your feelings. We are here for the facts. And we're going to follow the money. We're going to follow the charts. We're going to follow the business of dancehall. And by the end of this live, you'll understand why buying an album, buying a single, streaming a song, and chatting on a platform are four completely different conversations. So tonight, Fire Nation, if you're ready, let's go. I'm ready. Let's go. It's going to be a short live tonight. Right? Good. Buy or stream. Yes, facts. Buying singles from an album can help an album's total sales. But how much it helps depends on how the charting organization actually calculates the album units. Now, I'm going to say this. Our charting organization in Canada, Billboard, is the same as the US, right? The UK's charting system is completely different. All right? A matter of fact, I'm going to teach that in the next live too. A matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to go through the different charts so you can understand that not all streams are the same. They're not weighted the same. Right? Good. Anyhow, let's continue. So in today's music industry, most major charts, including the Billboard 200, they use what you call album equivalent units, right? That is when you hear people say AEUs. Now you know what it means. It's album equivalent units, right? Rather than just the pure album purchases, right? No. An album's total, it can come from the pure album sales, which is buying the whole album, right? Or track equivalent album, that is TEA, right? Which is buying the individual songs, right? So when you hear people say TEA, this is what they mean, right? It's very simple. Don't let people intimidate you with abbreviations, right? Right? Don't let people intimidate you with them. It's simple. It's just track equivalent albums, right? TEA. That's just buying the individual songs, right? Then there is the SEA, which is the streams. This is the streaming equivalent album. That's what it means, right? Right? Good. Now, how singles can help. If someone buys a single from an album, right? Yes, the artist gets the single sale. And the sale contributes towards the track equivalent album units, right? Get it? Right? It contributes towards those units. And it's a certain amount of units that's going to equal to one album. Okay? Now, enough single purchases can convert into album units for chart purposes, right? So say, okay, here it is. For example, simplified. 10 download songs equals to one album unit. Let's just say that's what it is. So if 10 fans each buy one song from the same album, it don't have to be the same song, right? That can contribute roughly the equivalent of one album sale towards the chart calculations. All right, good. Now, this is why fans buy the full album instead. Buying the full albums, it generally provides a full album sale, which is the most valuable unit. Stronger first week numbers, which is important. Better chart impact, right? And that sends a stronger signal to the labels and to the media and to the industry partners. It's facts. They're looking at it as a business, right? So this is why fan bases organize around album buying campaigns. That's why. It makes sense, right? Instead of telling everybody just to buy their favorite single. Okay? Now, let's say like Vibes Cartel. If Cartel releases an album with 20 tracks, right? And the fans only buy God is the Greatest and Straight Vibes, the purchases still help the album's overall performance through the TEU, the track equivalent units, right? However, if those same fans buy the entire album, the album receives much more chart value immediately. So that is why, right? Here's an example. 1,000 fans buy the album, 1,000 album sales. 1,000 fans buy one single song, roughly about 100 album equivalent units, right? That's depending on the chart methodology. And remember that the UK is completely different than Canada and the US, right? That's why artists usually prefer your full album purchase over buying the singles. and buying the singles over streaming the songs, right? When the goal is maximizing the first week album numbers. Now, this is the thing. You have to have, hi, Annabelle, big up, big up, big up, big up. How do I share the live? I think you have to come out and press share there. I think so. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I think you have to just come out and press share, right? Now, this is the thing, what I want to say. You have to have a goal. You have to know what it is that the artist needs, right? Because it depends on where the artist is in their career as well. So I'm going to go through that. We're almost there, right? So why do the artists release the singles anyway? Because singles are often not released to sell albums directly, often, right? They're supposed to build anticipation. They're supposed to generate some kind of media coverage, right? Get some playlist placement, right? And test the audience reaction. That's really why singles are released, right? And it also drives people towards the full project, right? That's why sometimes when a good single come out, and you don't hear it on the album, you're like, what? Why would that not be on the album? That was a great single. It's still running the place, right? Good. So a successful single acts as a marketing tool. That's what it is, right? That can convince listeners to later buy or stream the entire album. You understand what I'm saying? Right? It gives you anticipation to say, wow, if this is on this probably on him, and if this is on the album, I want to hear the rest was on the album, type of thing, right? So the short answer is yes. Buying the singles help the album's total numbers, but buying the full album helps far more, right? So if an artist is trying to debut higher on the charts, they generally want fans purchasing the complete album rather than just the individual songs, right? Now, there are situations where buying singles can actually help an artist's career more than buying the album. This is what a lot of people are missing, right? There is different situations, so it depends on what your artist needs. Big up Trooper, big up Mr. Gaza, blessings Trooper, good to see you, right? So the key question that the camps must always ask is, what does my artist need right now? What does my artist need right now? Right? Your artist might need something completely different than a different camp's artist. These are facts. Right? This is where the focus comes in. Okay? So there are situations where buying singles can actually help a artist's career more than buying the album. I'll tell you when. You see, when the artist needs a hit song more than an album success, right? Like say early in the career, one massive song can change everything. One massive song. Like even Valiant with Mado, that changed the trajectory of everything for him. That opened up ears and eyes for him. Right? Not saying he wasn't good and wasn't underground before, but still that one track changed the trajectory. Right? So a developing artist may benefit more from fans concentrating purchases and streams on one track. Why? Because it can chart that song higher. And when the chart that song higher, the radios notice, right? When the radios notice it and the playlist notice it, the promoters notice it, right? Viral moments become easy, and then people are like, wait there, who sing this? What's his name? What's his name? Oh, really? Let me go check him out, right? So a hit single can open up doors that a moderately successful album cannot. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why artists need to know where they are in their career, right? And tailor what it is that they want to do for where it is that they for their particular goals. And they have to communicate that to the camps, and in the camps have to organize people, the leaders of the camps have to organize everybody else in the camp and say, listen, this is what we're doing and this is why. Right? Right? So that is the value there. That is the value that the camps actually can have towards the artists. You actually can help them to achieve their goals. Right? Because you all deserve respect too for how hard I see you guys working. These are facts. Right? So this is where your value comes in. Mobilization and getting people on the same page. But you have to know what that page is. These are facts. That's why leaders need to communicate. Good. So For example, now early in the career, right? So yeah, a hit single can open doors than a moderately successful album cannot. No. For example, before an artist becomes established, one breakout record can create the touring opportunities, the festival bookings, the label interest, and the media interviews, right? In that scenario, concentrating support on one song may actually be strategically better at that time in the artist's career. So I'm saying there's not a one size fits. Oh, it must be a one size fits all. Fire Nation. When it's different people, you're talking about at different stages in them career. You understand? Different goals. Come on. Good. Now, when there's a focus track campaign, sometimes the artist team is intentionally pushing one record. Sometimes that happens, right? So if fans spread purchases across 20 songs, that impact gets diluted for that one record that is supposed to be the one that can change the artist's life, right? So if fans all buy and stream that one track, that track may enter the charts, climb the charts, trend on playlists, right? And trigger the algorithm recommendations. This is the world that we're living in now. So we need to adjust or we're going to die. It's facts. You evolve or die. It's facts. But I always tell you, you don't need a boat in the desert. So this is why fan bases sometimes organize around a single song rather than a whole project. Sometimes that's smart to do. Okay? Who have ears to hear, let them hear. Now, when the artist is already established, like say for an established artist, just as my artist Vibes Cartel, the equation changes. At that point, legacy matters, which I always say. The album debut, that matters. I always say that. His catalog strength matters. He have that luck. The first week numbers matter. For a veteran artist, a strong album often tells a bigger story than one successful single because he has had many successful singles. In past that now, right? Now, also when fans are sending a message, fans buying one specific song repeatedly, that can signal that this is the song we want pushed, right? So labels and management, they pay attention to which tracks generate purchases and engagement, right? Many songs have become official singles only because fans overwhelmingly gravitated towards them. It's facts. Official singles. There are some songs like that, right? And it's just because the fans. So the fans, you guys have a lot of power that if it's organized properly, it can do a world of good. You know what I mean? For the artists that you said that you rate and you love, right? Right? Before I go here, let me tell you what my strategy was, right? So what I did was, first of all, you don't stream the same album that you buy. Let me explain. So what I did was I buy the album on iTunes store, right? Right? Good. You buy the album on iTunes. So if you have Amazon Music, buy it there. You have a Bandcamp, you buy it there, whatever, right? Why? Because that generates the revenue immediately, right? And it counts towards the sales charts. We're applicable, right? And it also show consumer demand, right? Right? It creates a stronger signal than a stream, just like what I was just telling you, right? So basically, when you buy the album, you're basically saying, you know what, I value this enough to spend money on it. That's number one. You buy the album, but you're not done yet, right? What you have to do is you have to stream the album on a different platform. So what I did was I bought the album on iTunes store and I stream it on Spotify. Do not download the album and play it that way, because you're not helping the artist. Don't do it that way. Stream the album on a completely different platform, right? Right? Why? Because now you're helping the total streams, you're helping the playlist positioning, right? You're helping the algorithmic recommendation, right? You're helping the what I'm call it, the monthly listener counts, right? So you're helping all of that, right? Right? And remember what I told you, that streams measure. I keep telling you this every time I talk in dancehall. Streams measure consumption. That is a very big thing that people look for in music, the consumption of music, the streams. Right? Right? Yes. Buying it is good, grateful, because the purchase helps the sales side, right? But the streaming helps the visibility side. There's two sides to it, right? I'm gonna add it in the other live what I'm going to teach on, so you can see what I'm saying. So that's what that's what you guys need to do if you really want to support your artists. Sign up for a streaming platform and the purchasing platform, right? Stream it separately. Don't stream the one that you buy. Don't download it and stream it. Don't do that, right? From what you buy. No, don't download it and play it. That's what I mean, right? That's what I did. That was my strategy. Good. Now, here's the dancehall reality. Dancehall has traditionally been more single driven than album driven. It's just a fact. That's just the way it is, right? A lot of legendary careers were built on the rhythms, the singles, the sound system, rather than album sales. It's fact. But that's changing now, hopefully, with the next generation after we die out, right? So like Bounty Killer, Beanie Man, Vibes Cartel, much of their influence through individual records becoming cultural moments. It's a fact. So in dancehall, a hit song often carries more weight culturally than an album track that nobody talks about. It's facts. It's true. Right? Right? But buy the single when the artist is new. There's a specific song that you want to push. The goal is charting a hit. The goal is playlist placement. Or the goal is, say, like a viral momentum. That's when the camps organize and just mass buy a single, right? But you buy the album when the artist is established. The goal is to have a high album debut, right? The goal is certifications, right? Or proving the fan base strength, right? And the goal is supporting the artist's overall body of work. Then sure, do that. I just think the best strategy is to just do both. Like, well, buy the album and stream it somewhere else, right? Big up Mr. Gaza. You can call in anytime there because I almost done. It's a short live today, so you can call in for discussion. I'm going to have another live, Mr. Gaza, on how they should sign up for all the different platforms, and like more of a strategy broken down, right? So that they can support that because they're of value. You see what I'm saying? They work hard, but sometimes you have to work hard, you have to work smart too. So for most major artists today, the strongest support is buy the album, stream the standout single repeatedly, share the standout single with others. That combination, that helps both the album and the potential hit record at the same time. This is a good strategy. Do it. It's not hard. Right? Right? So let's make sure that you understand SEA and TEA. Again, TEA, track equivalent albums. So, right? So this is when the single song purchases are converted into album units. So the correct US number, 10 individual tracks equals to 1 album unit for RIAA, album certification purposes, right? So if fans buy singles from the same album, 1 single sale is 1/10 of an album unit. 10 single sales, 1 album unit. 100 single sales, 10, and so forth, right? Good. Now, SEA is streaming equivalent albums. So this is when streams from a song on an album are converted into album units, right? This is the correct RIAA number. 1,500 on-demand audio video streams equals to 1 album unit. 1,500 of them. I mean, you have to stream it 1,500 times for it to be counted as 1 album unit, right? So 15,000, 10, etc., etc., right? For Billboard 200, though, albums are measured through a mix of traditional album sales, track equivalent albums, and streaming equivalent albums. Same thing with Canada. UK is different. Okay? Right. This is the clean teaching. Pure album sale is the strongest direct album support. Right? TEA, singles helping the album through purchases. SEA, streams helping the album through listening volume. Okay? So when fans buy the whole album, that is direct album support. Okay, good. We already went through that. So I know I get it. I don't need to over explain. Right? Now, does Spotify pay the same amount in every country? No, they do not. A stream from one country is not necessarily worth the same as a stream from another country. Why? Because Spotify, Apple, YouTube, etc., that generate revenue from subscription fees, advertising, and local market pricing, right? So a premium subscriber in the US may pay much more than a listener in a lowered price market. So advertising rates vary dramatically by country. So what does that mean? 1 million streams from country A may generate significantly more money than 1 million streams from country B. It's facts. Advertising run this thing, right? That's why sponsorship and advertising is so important. So do charts count streams differently by country? Sometimes, yes. So I remember I talk about UK, right? Each chart organization creates its own rules. For example, the Billboard 200 uses a weighted formula. Premium streams are worth more than free tier streams. It's a fact. A paid Spotify premium stream contributes more chart value than a free ad-supported stream. It's fact. Look it up if you don't believe me. Right? So, UK, as we were talking about, that's the official charts company, right? They also use stream to sale conversions, but with their own methodology, right? They have historically used the stream weight, premium versus free distinctions, right? And they have limits to prevent a single song from dominating. From making so basically they won't, so if there's a hit song on an album, they have certain things in place, whereas they won't make that hit song make the album look bigger than it really is. Okay, and I will explain all of that on the next live when I'm teaching you how to buy, right? So Canada, the Canadian album charts generally follow the methodologies similar to Billboard's US system, because the charts are operated by the same parent data infrastructure. Okay. Of course, Jamaica, we don't have our own charts. Of course we don't. Should we? Yes, we should. Okay. So dancehall success is often measured through streaming numbers, YouTube views, radio play, sound system play, cultural impact, social media engagement, rather than an official album equivalent chart formula. And we ought to have one. And I'm going to talk about that on the next live, actually. It's going to be soon. It's going to be early this week. It's going to be a quick one. Why this matters for dancehall? This is a point many people miss. Not all streams are equal. Artist A, 1 million streams mostly from US, Canada, and UK. Artist B, 1 million streams mostly from lower revenue markets. Both have 1 million streams. The revenue generated may be very different. That is one reason label care not only about number of streams, but where the streams came from. Blessings, Skeptic. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hola, Luke Clark. Blessings, Luke Clark. Good to see you. Good to see you. Blessings, Philip, my bro. Good to see you. Good to see you. Mr. Skeptic says, stream my music, everyone. Great information, Miss Julia. Netta. Blessings, Skeptic. Good to see you. Ah, boy. That always make me laugh. Blessings. Right? But where the streams come from. Okay? Now, here's another layer. Album units versus revenue. This is where things get very interesting, Fire Nation. Imagine. Fan 1 buys a $9.99 album. Result, 1 pure album sale. Fan 2 streams the album. Result may require around 1,500 streams to create 1 album equivalent unit for the certification process. The artist may need hundreds or thousands of streams before generating the same revenue as a direct purchase. So buy and stream, people. Blessings, Lion King South. Blessings. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Right? I'm going to save that one for later. So I know you know. So there's a lot, there's a lot to be talked about I want people to understand. I don't want people to just do things but it's because people tell you to do it. I want you to understand why you need to do it, or understand why you're doing it, right? And I want you to always think about where your artist is right now and what his goals are, what would actually help their career. And you mobilize that way, right? It's not a one size fits all thing. Every artist have different needs depending on where they are and what they're facing in their career, right? So tonight we learned something extremely important, Fire Nations. Yes, numbers tell a story, but they don't tell the entire story. A stream is not always a sale. A sale is not always a fan. A chart position is not always impact. And impact is not always revenue. We learned that buying a single helps, buying an album helps, streaming helps, sharing helps, but they all help in different ways. We learned that 10 track purchases may equal one album unit. We learned that approximately 1,500 streams may equal one album unit for certification purposes. We learned that streams from different countries may generate different amounts of money. And we learned that some of the biggest debates in music happen because people are comparing completely different metrics. One person talking about sales, another talking about streams, another talking about culture, another talking about influence, another talking about money. And then everyone wonders why we're arguing. You're measuring different things. So the lesson here extends beyond music. In business, in life, in entrepreneurship, you must understand the metric before you celebrate the result. Not every win is the same win. Not every scoreboard measures the same game. Okay? So the next time someone confronts you about chart position, ask what chart? The next time you see someone talk about streams, ask from where? The next time you see someone post sales, ask what kind? Numbers don't lie, but people often misunderstand what the numbers are actually saying. So I want to thank you guys, Fire Nation, for spending your evening with me, bringing your curiosity and bringing your intellect, right? And thank you for helping Fire Nation become one of the smartest communities discussing the business behind the music. So until next time, Mr. Gaza, you say you don't have the link. I'm going to add it right now. But let me tell you guys goodbye before you come. Until next time, you must keep learning, keep questioning, keep building, and always keep following the money. So good night, Fire Nation. So I'm going to add you up right now, Mr. Gaza. 1 second. Add the link. Anybody can call in because I made it small. I made the lesson short so we can discuss stuff. Uh-oh. No, it's okay. You can come. I'm not leaving. I'm telling you to come up. That's why I did it short. That's okay, Lalibella. That's why I made it short for you, so that you guys can come up if you want to. No, I'm not leaving. I just ended the lesson. Come up if you want to. That's the link right there. Did I pin it? Did I pin the link? Let me do it again. Hi, Lalibella. Salem, salem, salem. I'm waiting. Mr. Gaza, I'm right here. I'm waiting for you to come up. Did he leave? Let me see. Yeah, Lalibaba. And next week I'm going to, not next week, but this week, early this week, I'm going to have give some strategies on what to do, how to support the artists. I'm going to tell people, show people how to buy the album, how to actually buy it from different platforms, right? So, Mr. Gazagan, I am waiting on you. I'm a TikTok him. I'm a TikTok message. I think he left without realizing. Oh, there he is. There he is. Hi, Mr. Gaza. I just TikToked you. I just TikTok messaged you and was like, I'm waiting on you.
Hey, Miss Julia, how you doing?
I'm good, dear. Good to hear you. Good to hear you.
Yeah, likewise. Great lesson as usual.
Thank you.
This was a very interesting topic. Especially in this climate right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this is good.
Thank you. Thank you. And so, because I want people to understand why they're doing what they're doing, right? So, and also to question too, to find out, what does my artist actually need right now for his career, right? And then
Mhm.
they can organize the camps that way, and that will increase their value to the artist, because
Right.
now the artist's goal becomes your goal. You see what I'm saying? So, and the thing is, they work very hard for their artist, right?
Yeah.
So it's good to work smart. So tomorrow, I told them my strategy of what I did for the album, right, which was to buy it on iTunes and then go to Spotify and stream it there, right? So that
Mhm.
you don't stream the same one that you buy. You don't you know what I mean? You don't download it and play it from there, right?
Right.
Um Lalibella says, I really want you to expound on artist support versus consumer demand. Yes, that's going to be in the next one, Lalibella. That's going to be in the next one, because I'm going to talk about that, as well as why it is important for Jamaica to have our own charts, which we do not, right? We have to rely on US and Canada. Good night, Munch British. Good night, my dear. Good to see you. Well, we are done now, but I just let up Mr. Gaza to say a couple few words so you can go over it, go over the live. It's a pretty short one. It wasn't too long today, right? So, and we're going to teach people how to actually buy the music from their phone and from the computer. So, I'm going to do all of that in early this week. It will be a quick one, right? So, anything else you want to add, Mr. Gaza?
Um, I would say if you're a there's no reason why you shouldn't support your artist, especially if you're a super fan. Like like you claim a camp.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? If you're a Gaza fan or a Venet or Crux or whatever you say, and you're a super fan, you claim a camp,
Yeah,
then you should definitely buy the music.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
Um, because in my case, most people, like a lot of people say, oh, I just stream on Apple Music or Spotify.
yeah.
And you're paying like what, 12, $13 a month, right? Depending on
Your tier, yeah.
yeah, your tier and all that stuff, right? So whatever it is that you're paying,
Mm-hmm.
but an album is roughly the same amount,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So as a super fan, but if you're like a casual fan and you just listen to every type of music,
Mm-hmm.
not to say that a super fan can't listen to
Right.
other different artists, but as a
Understood. Like a
right,
super fan is more invested.
yeah.
I understand.
So
And it's right. So that's why I said, let me do these lives, because I think if people understand why it's important, they'll be more likely to do it. You see what I'm saying? So when they realize that your streaming is not holding the same weight or not helping the artist as much as buying it, and you buying it and playing it from the bought copy is not helping the artist as much as buying it and streaming it elsewhere. So once we can actually teach them why it makes sense, then people will have the inner urge, if they really support the artist, to do it on their own. You see what I'm saying? So,
mhm,
but if we blindly just tell people to do it without explaining why it's important, you're not going to have a lot of follow through. You understand what I mean?
yeah,
Right?
okay. Yeah.
And right, so that is how it's supposed to be. That's how you're organ. That's how, you have to communicate the importance of what you're doing, why you're doing it, so people can buy in, right? So that they can want to do it, so that you get more of a you need the force, you need the people,
Right, right, right.
right? So
Um, big
yeah,
up,
go ahead.
big up Munch. No, I'm just
Munch British. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
big up Munch business.
Big up, big up. Yeah. So yeah, so we're gonna have that live soon. It's gonna be early this week, and we're gonna talk about. You have any questions about anything about
No, no questions. I pretty much agreed with it with almost everything that you said. Yeah, basically.
Okay, almost. Where's the part that you didn't agree?
Well, I said almost because I'm multitasking, so
Oh,
maybe that's yeah. So I
okay.
can't
You mean
say
as much as
everything because I'm not sure I heard everything. So,
understood.
yeah,
Understood.
yeah,
Blessing, success over my queen, my sister, my fire sister, fire queen. Blessing. No, I just wanted, that
yeah,
caveat.
yeah,
I was like, wait a second. Tell me, so we can discuss.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, definitely I would, but yeah.
Yeah, I know you would. I know you would. You're honest person when it comes to talking. Yeah, so we're going to also talk about why it's important for us to have that our own charting system, right? And they don't under this is so deep, you see, guys, Mr. Gaza, it's so deep, right? And I'm really gonna really tear this lesson apart, because the people think that is just vanity. It's not. We historically are losing records. You see what I'm saying? Like, imagine me asking you now, what was the biggest song in Canada in 1987? You can go back to the Canadian chart and look.
Mm,
Me ask you now, what is the biggest song in Jamaica in 1987? Right? We
mm-hmm.
don't have, we don't, we all we have is basically hearsay. You understand?
Right, right.
American can tell you, the UK can tell you, right? That's a big, huge cultural loss. So a lot of times people just see that. You see, the thing is, when people don't see far, they can only see what they lose immediately. They can't see what what the trickle down effect is later on. You understand what I mean?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And why it is important for the entire music industry that we actually have our own charting, right? You see
that's
what
a
I'm saying?
very good point. Yeah,
It's
that's a
fast.
very
It's,
good point.
it's so much more. So I'm going to go into it, right? Because right now, when you talk to anybody, even you talk to the people in the industry, right? Where you hear, oh, me here saying, oh yeah, everybody I play it, man. Yeah, man, that's on the field, big man. Yeah, yeah, that's not measurements. The UK, them have the official singles chart. Them have the official albums chart, right? 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 Then there's the Billboard Hot 100 for US, Billboard 200, the streaming charts, some of them radio charts. So you can always ask them, what is the biggest song in the country this week? You can always ask them, and them can always give you an answer. But for us, right? When you ask us that, oh, everybody playing this, oh, it feel big, oh, meet up on the ground, so me can't hear this. We don't have a charting system. We need to have a charting system if we're going to take our music seriously, right? But I'm going to teach it. I'm going to teach it, because this is the thing. It only takes a spark to get my fire going. Really. So, like, these are things that we should be thinking about if we really care about the music. It's facts. It's facts. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear the truth, right? I know a lot of people don't like to hear the truth, but that's too bad. Exercise your thumbs and scroll on, right? So we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to deep dive into lessons of it and what it is that we're losing by not having our own charts, right? So maybe we can start to make a change, and maybe one of the younger ones, can actually hear what we're saying, and we can actually start to make a change. It take a spark. It only take a spark, right? Yes, Lalibella, we need Illuminate equivalent to handle the data collection in the background. Yeah, why not? Why not? Right? But anyhow, that's for another lesson. Mr. Gaza, is there anything you want to leave us with, sir? You're muted. You're muted there. I'm probably gone. All right, Fire Nation. Listen, it's been my pleasure as usual. Really love to see you guys. Big up my sister Success Over Hype for being here. As her name suggests, people, it's all success over hype. Big up everybody that was here. And I'm out. I'll see you next time.
Fire Nation, listen to me. You don't log off and go back to playing small. You take what you learned and you execute. This is why Fire Nation exists. To rise higher, to build smarter, and to change the financial future of our families. I'm Miss Julia, A.K.A. Miss Blue Fire, always taking you higher. And wherever you go next, you carry our fire with you. Fire Nation, we rise, we build, and we're just getting started.